Have you ever thought about spooky things in just like just an overall sense? Like, what is truly considered spooky, creepy, terrifying, scary? There's a lot of words that can describe that kind of feeling of unease and fear, and I think it's so interesting to kind of think about that in like context. Like, what is scary to you? What is horrifying to you? Because something that could be scary to you may not be scary to somebody else. Like, take for instance clowns. Great example. I think a lot of people, there's quite a few people in this world that are scared of clowns, but for the most part, a good chunk of people are not. And then for everybody, it's a little bit different. I have a specific fear that I will not mention here, but it's definitely one that it literally kind of, not literally, but definitely creeps me out quite a bit. Anyways, hello everybody, this is that Manga Dude, and welcome to another reading log. Today, we're talking about all the amazing manga that I read in the month of September, my birthday month. And yeah, I actually, I'm gonna be completely honest, I did not read that much manga. I kind of wish I did read more. However, considering the circumstances, there's just no way. I was way too busy. I was traveling. I was not at home for at least 2 out of the 4 weekends that I had in September, with one of them being my birthday weekend. So, of course, I'm not going to be really I'm going to be, hanging out with friends, spending time, and enjoying my life kind of stuff, and not being able to sit down and being able to do one of my favorite things, which is reading. But what I did manage to read, a lot of great stuff. I cannot wait to get into it. Let's get started right now. Alrighty, so the first manga that I read in the month of September 2025 is going to be the very enjoyable, fun series, Kaiju number 8, volume 14 from Naoya Matsumoto. We are almost to the end of this series. I think there's 3 more volumes or so. I can't remember if it's 17 or 18 volumes total. But yeah, really fun series. I've been having such a great time with it. It's kind of sad that it's coming to an end, but it definitely feels like it's coming to an end. It feels like we've kind of been in this final arc for a while now, so it is dragging on just a little bit. But I did like this volume. I thought it was a great volume. We're finally getting like the 2 main characters back together, and they're fighting together, and it's a great time. So love this volume, and I'm excited to continue reading it. Alright, up next, Skip and Loafer, Volume 11 from Misaki Takamatsu. In case you're wondering the reason why I did not have this in my pickups video, because this is my wife's collection that this is my wife's series that she's collecting, so I don't typically mention the series that she's collecting, but I love this series. Skip and Loafer is so adorable, so wonderful, so lovely, and it hits on like so many like great little parts, so great little moments between friendship and relationships, and just in general, I don't know, I think it tackles it with such enjoyment, but also like a really just nice introspection and kind of retrospection, and it's just, I love it so much. I don't know how else to explain it. It's such a great series, and this volume, another wonderful volume for another wonderful series. Alright, up next, Sumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life Volume 2 from Miyu Morishita. A really enjoyable slice of life, school life series that I read the first volume, and I've talked about it before, but that volume 1, I was worried, I'm not a big fan of like, kind of like humanoid characters, and stuff like that. It's just not really my thing. But Sumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life is really great. I love this series now. The first volume was a lot of fun. Second volume, another really fun series, or another really fun volume. We get to meet a lot of new characters, different kind of hybrid human/animal characters, which is really awesome. And yeah, just can't wait to continue reading it. It's a lot of fun. It's really nice to read. Very breezy and simple, straightforward story, and just some really good art as well. If you like Homie Can't Communicate, I think you will also enjoy this as well. Alright, up next, Blue Box Volume 17 from Koji Miura. Yep, it just continues to be Blue Box. I mean, I don't really know how much else to say about this series. It's fun. It's entertaining. I do wish, as I always say, wish there was more sports. But for what it is, it's an enjoyable read. And yep, Volume 17 was pretty good. Alright, up next, decided to read Licorice Recoil Reload Volume 1. This was provided to me by Yen Press, and this is another anthology from the Licorice Recoil series. And yeah, it's enjoyable. I mean, if you like Licorice Recoil, I think you'll have a great time with this. If you don't know anything about Licorice Recoil, you'll probably still be able to enjoy it, but I think you really need to understand the context of these characters. I mean, you'll be able to glean information from them, but you won't really know about like what's going on, like what the happenings of the characters in this series as to like what they're doing and why they're at this cafe, but it's fun nonetheless. Alright, up next, Jujutsu on the Beat, also known as Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 27 from Gege Akutami. Yeah, we are definitely getting to the end of the series, and I'm praying that the series will end. To be honest, I have been pretty down on it, just in general, especially during and after Culling Games. I feel like this last arc, Culling Games was so rough, personally for me, reading it. But Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 27 goes into this battle between this guy and Geto, and it's like one of the most ridiculous, over-the-top fights. And I'm gonna be completely honest, it feels so out of place, and for me at least, and I just did not like it. It was rough. I mean, like, it was funny in spurts and stuff like that, but like, it just feels so weird, and especially in the placement of within this series, like where everything has been really serious for a long time now, and to have like this like really strange and kind of like out of pocket weird like comedic fight seems just kind of odd, especially because we're almost at the end, so I'm like, why is this here? But it is what it is. I'm gonna finish it up, and obviously I'll have my full thoughts on the series, but yeah, it's not looking great, guys. Alright, up next, decided to read the 4th volume of Undead Unluck from Yoshifumi Tezuka. We finished up the boat arc. I don't know what you want to call it, like the mafia, like ship arc. We get to meet like the kind of like the main villain crew that's kind of like the anti-heroes, maybe. We'll see. But they have a very interesting kind of like plot to them, or like what they want to do, and it really obviously contrasts with like the main group. And yeah, I really enjoyed this volume. I've been really enjoying this series. This is a series that I judged heavily based on its art style, and while it's not really my favorite thing in the world in terms of the art, I love the story. I think the story is really actually quite complex and kind of interesting how it's getting kind of drip fed to us, providing just enough information to keep you interested, but also allowing you to kind of develop an idea of like how this story is going to play out. And I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, I'm going to be completely honest, and I think that's what makes a good series for me personally, is when I cannot predict everything about a story. I think like when it introduces things that are unique and different, a series I end up really liking quite a bit. So Undead Unluck has been doing that recently, and this volume was a lot of fun. Can't wait to read the next one. Alright, up next, Hida Yasumi Volume 6 from Keiko Shinzo. Yep, another fantastic volume. I love these characters so very much. I love a slice of life series nowadays. And it's just a great like series about just kind of finding enjoyment in your life. We get into them making a movie, which is a lot of fun, and there's all of that stuff that happens to it. But yeah, really enjoyed this volume, and I cannot wait for Volume 7. Alright, up next, Volume 1 of Veil from Koteri. I talked about this in my FVI, so if you want my full opinions on this, you should go watch that video. But for you people here, this was amazing, so wonderful, so great. The art is stupendous. Honestly, I would just personally pick this up just to look at the visuals. Like, even if the story is not really your cup of tea, because it really isn't a story, it's kind of just like little snippets and of their lives together. The art is so gorgeous, so beautiful, and there's so much to enjoy. Oh my goodness, just look at it. It's so gorgeous. I love it so much. It's so great. I'm just a huge fan of it. But awesome work by Udon and Manga Splaining Extra to give us this wonderful manga in English, and I'm excited to read that second volume. Alright, up next, another one from the FBI. This is Atabana, Volume 1 from Non. Follows a story about this girl here who holds a very tight secret that she has killed her friend, and then she ends up telling this to the police, and it kind of gets into this really intricate and complex story. Who's telling lies, who's telling partial truth, what is actually going on here, because it feels like we have an unreliable narrator, and that's what makes it a lot of fun to read. There's a lot of great stuff happening in this first volume. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. I want to know what is truly going on with this series, and I'm excited to get to that second volume. All right, up next, Wand Dance Volume 13, Coffee. What can I say? I love Wand Dance. It's one of my favorite manga series currently releasing. Soon to be in my top 10 manga of all time. I'm feeling it, just to be completely honest with you. This series has changed my life in a variety of different ways. I think like how I view abstract art, how I would personally want to see like visual dance drawn. I don't know. There's something about what Wand Dance does that really it just changes my perspective on things specifically. I know the anime is coming out. I am a little bit worried about it. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, the manga is fantastic. This volume was another fantastic volume for this wonderful series. Alright, up next is Baki. To the Baki. Baki the Grappler from, I always forget this guy's name. I feel so bad. I probably should memorize his name at this point. Keisuke Itagaki. This is from the new publisher, Kodama Tales, and talk about an introduction to your publishing company, to your new company. They killed it. Kodama Tales did a great job in releasing this. This is such a beautiful release. So many wonderful little touches, and like the page quality is great. The book quality is fantastic, and I love what they did with it. Now, when it comes to Baki the Grappler itself, I talked about it in the FBI, but it is a fun, ridiculous, wacky series that hits certain points for me that I really enjoy, and other points for me that I'm like, what the heck's going on? So it's a mixed bag for me personally, but this is a fantastic relief. If you are a Baki the Grappler fan, you have to pick these up. It is so worth it. Alright, up next, this is Idol X Idol Story Volume 2 from Shotaro Tokuno. We are now officially getting into, like, the main, like, whatever you want to call it, the tournament arc, I guess, where they're splitting up into groups, and they have to now, like, pull off this, like, dance sequence, choreography. Why am I blanking on the word? And it's going to be a lot of fun. I really like the characters. I think they're a lot of fun and very enjoyable. I will say, I think the problem that the series may have for me personally is that there's a lot of characters to keep track of, so I don't know if they're all going to be relevant, but that is one of my little qualms currently with it. But if you like idol stories, if you like characters who are like, you know, training themselves to become better, to become idols, I think this is a good one for you. Alright, coming into our second part, we ourselves tune in to The Midnight Heart, Volume 2 from Masakuni Igarashi. I've talked about the series a bit on this channel, but I have been really enjoying it, to be honest. It follows a story about this guy who listens to a radio show at night, and suddenly the person stops doing it, and now he is on a journey to try to find this person. He finds out what school she's going to because he's kind of a weirdo, and he introduces himself to the broadcasting club and finds 4 girls who could potentially be this radio host. So it's about him trying to figure out who it is, and yeah, possibly profess his love / his feelings for this person. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting premise. It's a really funny series. I laugh so hard every time I read a volume. It's very enjoyable. It's very silly. But I love that, like, the main character is also, like, the way, like, he goes over the top. He gets made fun of quite a bit just for being, like, way too extra. And not in a good way. I mean, like, he gets pointed out for being, like, well, like, kind of almost, like, creepo. But he hasn't done anything, like, actually creepy, if that makes sense. Like, nothing, like sexual, which I'm like, okay, thank God, you know, if we're gonna have a weird character, at least he's not doing something like that. Like, please, can we just stay away from that, especially for high school characters? Like, gosh. But yeah, really enjoyed this volume of Tune Into the Midnight Heart, and I'm excited to pick up that 3rd volume. Alright, up next, decided to read 2 more volumes of Hero Tales from Hiromu Arakawa, Hwang Jinzhou, Ryo Yashiro, and Kusanagi. And yes, I talked about the series the last time in my reading log, and I made a mistake, but Hiromu Arakawa is the one who actually developed all of it. Like, it's based off of something, but she is, like, the author of this. But it is very, very fun. It's very enjoyable. Like, it follows a story about this guy, who's kind of, like, been made to be this part part of this like destiny thing where he's a part of these 7 stars, and him and like the other, basically the main baddie, are like the 2 main ones, and they must duke it out in order to push the world into a certain way or certain direction. So pretty interesting premise. Love the characters. If you like Hiromu Arakawa, you're gonna have a great time with this. I am just need to finish the final volume, but I've had a great time with it. It's been a lot of fun. Definitely has like a lot of the hallmarks of a Hiromu Arakawa series, with the funny characters, the comedy mixed with the action, mixed with the drama, in a very strong way. A good flowing story from start to finish, and yeah, I'm excited to get that and read that last volume. Alright, I also decided to read 2 volumes of the Kase-san series. This is Kase-san and Shortcake and Kase-san and an Apron from Hiromi Takashima. Talk about a really enjoyable, fun, cute series. I love these 2. They are wonderful. They're so cute. I can't lie. One of the girls is like kind of like this a little bit self-conscious. She runs the Greenery Club, while the other girl is like the super popular athletic girl. And yes, they end up in a relationship with one another, and they're just so tender and so adorable and so endearing, and you just gotta root for them. I'm really excited to get into their college arc, which I believe is what the next few volumes or next volumes are going to be about. So really excited to get those. Kase-san is so amazing, and I love it so much. Alright, up next, I decided to read the first volume of Queen's Quality from Kiyosuke Motomi. This is the sequel series from, based off of QQ Sweeper, so this is the sequel. The first volume is a lot of fun. You basically lead off right after the events of QQ Sweeper. We're learning more about who, like, the queen is, as in, like, this, the context of the series. And yeah, the series is really intense. It's really dark, and the characters are just like really well written. I really enjoy it, and I appreciate Colleen's Manga Rex for suggesting this series, for telling me to check it out. It's one of their favorite series, and yeah, I can see why. Queen's Quality is gonna be awesome. I could tell this first volume is great, and I'm excited to watch our main characters grow with each other and individually. Alright, up next, Apothecary Diaries Volume 4 from Natsuhiyuga Neko Kurage, Itsuki Nanao, and Toko Shino. Yeah, I decided to pick up and read Apothecary Diaries for the first time in a while, mostly because my wife has been really, really into it. Like, it's probably one of her favorite series currently releasing. So, you know, I was like, you know what, I should try to catch up, and so we could talk about it. And yeah, another good volume of Apothecary Diaries. This one was kind of following off after the big tea party and all the fiasco that happened there. And also like the evacuation, I don't know what you want to call it. Basically the removal of the oldest like concubine. So a really great volume. I really do enjoy the series. I think it's a lot of fun. Mao Mao is a great character. Jinchi is super silly and ridiculous, and yeah, I'm excited to continue reading. Alright, time ridiculous series. Dogs Red, Volume 3 from Satoru Noda. What would you expect from the Golden Kamui manga? This series is so ridiculous, so over the top, but man, is it so much fun. All these characters are so like strange and weird, but I love them so much. I can't wait to watch them play like actual hockey games, because right now they're in like their training arc because they just lost like the main championship, and so they're like training up to become like the big team that they always were and are, and our main character is trying his best, and that's all I can really say about that. But very excited to continue reading this one. This has been a really enjoyable time, and I would love to see more hockey manga. Alright, up next, Volume 35 of Komi Can't Communicate from Tomihito Oda, and you know what they say, it's Komi. Thank you. Alright, up next, from another one from the FBI, I decided to read the first volume of City Hunter from Tsukasa Hojo. Yes, I believe this is a 3-volume omnibus from Kana, a new publisher. And yeah, this is a very enjoyable series with this main character here. He is the City Hunter, as they say, Ryo Saiba. And yeah, he just kind of does a bunch of random odd jobs, whether that's bodyguarding or assassination or anything like that. Yeah, so it's about his like kind of like random hijinks and trying to like stay alive while a lot of people are after him. But it's enjoyable. It definitely shows its age in certain aspects, especially with the jokes. You'll see a lot of like kind of like sex jokes and like jokes about like kind of like somewhat degrading women. So you'll expect that. It is an 80s series, so it's kind of par for the course for the time. But I think overall, if you want to read a classic shonen series, I think this is a pretty decent release. I will say that the page quality isn't the best. It is somewhat see-through, but it is an enjoyable read nonetheless, and I had a great time with it. Alright, up next, from Yen Press, they provided to me this copy. This is Rock is a Lady's Modesty from Hiroshi Fukuda. And yes, it follows a story about this girl here, who's prim and proper, but she's always had like this affinity for guitar and listening to rock, and she's had to kind of change her life because she's her mom married into like a rich family, so now she has to like uphold these standards or whatever like that. But she always holds like rock and all that kind of stuff like in the bottom of her heart. She ends up accidentally kind of stumbling upon this girl who's also another prim and proper, but also for some reason really loves the drums. So they have a little jam sesh and they kind of talk mad crap about each other, and it just starts off this strange but very funny like relationship with each other, where they're going to go start maybe a band, and we'll see. And to be completely honest, I thought I was going to like this first volume a little bit more, but I don't know what it was personally about it that just kind of threw me off. Maybe it's just kind of like the over-the-topness of it. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more nuanced, not so in-your-face personally, but that's just me. Maybe it's just like what I was expecting of the series versus what I got. But yeah, I kind of was expecting to like it more. Not sure how much I like the main characters per se. I think the art's pretty good. I think the art, especially when it's like showing like the characters playing their instruments, looks really good. So I'll give it props for that. But yeah, overall, I was a little underwhelmed by it personally. But hey, you might enjoy it more than I did. Alright, up next, another one that was provided to me for free. That is What Do You Call This Trash from Tetsukazu. It follows a story about this girl here who's totally, deeply, madly in love with the main character's brother, because they used to be boyfriend-girlfriend, but he found out that she is way too freaky and way too obsessive, and he was like, I can't do this. So the main character, aka the little brother, strikes a deal with her to kind of basically give her like time with her ex in a way, by giving her pictures and various other things, kind of indulging her, and she allows the main character, aka the younger brother, to do stuff to her because he is down bad for her. And I did not like this at all. I genuinely hated this, to be completely honest. I did not like it. I thought the premise was weird. I thought the main characters were just genuinely awful. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I really just, I was hoping that the main character's brother, aka the older brother, would just have a good life away from these two, because they're just disgusting and strange and weird. And there's just, for me personally, there's just nothing to glean from this, because like I think when it comes to these kinds of stories, there needs to be a level of kind of showing that this is bad, but it's like they never really do that like well enough for me to be like, oh yes, of course, I see what like the writer's perspective or point of view is supposed to be. This just feels like just gross and weird, and I just didn't like it. Like, the art is good, but I don't know. I don't even know if I could truly suggest this. It's just like, this was this was something else. This was that. I mean, I don't even know. I can't suggest this to anyone, to be honest. Alright, up next, I decided to read the 10th volume of Medalist because I needed something different in my life. And yep, this is exactly what I needed. Medalist is awesome, and we are getting into the big, major, I would say, like, crazy tournament, which is like the All Japan, All Japan Novice Champ. No, wait, is that it? No. We did the All Japan Novice Championships. We're going into like the world thing, which makes more sense. I'm not explaining it very well, but I'm very excited with where the series is going, especially because like we're aging up our characters slowly but surely, sometimes with a big time skip, which I appreciate, because, you know, we don't necessarily need to follow our main characters like every step of the way, but I think it does it in a way that we get to like those really nice moments together where she gets to train, she gets to participate, and she gets to be in tournaments without having to have like, oh, let's show her at school for like, you know, 12 months straight or whatever. So really love this series. I love the ice skating aspects. I love everything about it, and I'm excited for Volume 11. Alright, up next, I decided to read New Age Exorcist Volume 2 from Kota Kawaii. Very straightforward, very simple Exorcist manga that I enjoy. It's been pretty fun. It's not going to blow you away. It's pretty stock standard on that aspect, but it is fun. It's enjoyable. The art's good. Characters are entertaining. The story's mostly interesting. It's not going to blow you away or anything, but it gets the job done. And another just decent volume of a decent series. So yeah, excited to read that third volume. And then last but not least, I decided to read the Licorice Recoil. Yes, sirree, I cannot escape it. It is a different one. This is Volume 1 of the anthology for Repeat, also provided to me for free by Yen Press. And I'm going to say the exact same thing that I said about the other one. If you like Licorice Recoil, you're going to enjoy this. If you've never watched or read Licorice Recoil, you'll probably still enjoy it, but you won't have the same context if you had watched it. So you'll probably get a little bit less enjoyment out of it. But it's still a fun time to see like different artists pull off their renditions of these characters, and we get little vignettes into their lives, so it's enjoyable in that aspect. And that's going to be it for this reading log. Thank you so much for watching. What have you been reading in this past month, or just in general? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things, and I really appreciate it when you do that. So thank you so much for watching. You guys have been supporting me a lot through the years, and I appreciate it so much. Just very excited to continue putting out videos that I hopefully you guys enjoy. So I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.